Hi again guys, this is Ramon from Modelismo channel. So we're gonna start with, we're actually gonna continue with the build of the F6F-5 from Eduard in 1/72 scale. So we're gonna go over the list of what I have still to do. So as you can see, I'm just slightly sanding the beading or the excess Tamiya cement that is in the seam of the fuselage. I have to just reiterate or say again that that the fit in this fuselage was really good. Very pain-free, no problems whatsoever. I just basically started gluing from here in the bottom part, and I just went an inch by an inch by an inch by an inch, and then just like putting a little bit of the cement, waiting for a little bit, and then squeezing. So that's why, you know, that I had that excess cement that I'm sanding right now, and it has not been problemo or problema, like we say in Spanish. This thing, I just had a little bit of a mark here. I already sanded out, but all in all, the surface work is coming together really well. Just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just taking this, I don't know, it's just like a regular sanding, nail file, sorry, and I'm just wetting it, you know, dipping it in some water, and having that excess cement out. I do a little bit. I don't apply a lot of pressure. I really don't. I'm just sanding it very slightly, letting it do its work. And then what I do is that I use this more specialized file that I got at my local hobby shop, and I'm using this side, the pink side, which I think it's somewhere around the 4 and 600 grain. I just give it a quick pass of it. Don't want to lose any of the detail, don't want to rescribe anything. So yeah, and that's working just perfect. I don't know if you can notice, but too much glare. Perhaps right there. But yeah, that's not going anywhere, and that's gonna be, it should be okay once painted. Don't want to get any TP on my model. So this is what I'm doing to address the problem with the little gap right there between the dashboard or the control panel and the canopy sit. As you can see, I've already sanded the seam of the fuselage. I think it's gone pretty well. Then this is the remaining problem. So what I'm doing is, with my trusted hobby knife, I sanded down a little bit of this cap just to give it a little more texture, and then I'm just slicing a little bit, or kind of like taking a sliver off it, and I think it's actually more material than I actually need, and I might actually just glue it in and then put a little bit of putty, and it'll be easier to work with, I think. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. That's it, guys. I already found the piece that is gonna help me out. That little piece, that little sliver of deodorant cap is what it's going to help me fill that gap. I have not glued it, but I'm gonna glue it, and I think it's gonna look really, really good. Well guys, this is the end result of that little adventure that I just had. Took a little bit of patience, but I got there. And I think that the result is worth it. I had a little bit of problems with the thin cement. It actually melted this kind of plastic really good. I thought it was styrene, but it's not. Some other sort of plastic. I still have to fill that little ball right there, but it's really nothing. I'm satisfied and I'm very happy with the job. And of course, if you want to take up the idea in future models, be my guest. This is what it's all about, just sharing, and that's what I'm doing right now. So let's see if you can see it better here. I don't know if the yeah. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy. Check that out. Check that out. Worked really nice. Really, really nice. No gap anymore. No gap. Nice. Little yellow piece of paper right here. It's actually the masking that have already been pre-cut for the clear canopy part. So that's also a really neat thing about this kit that I forgot to tell you guys about, and you can see in the background the decals of the kit. So we're gonna go on and work on these photo etch. I'm gonna try to film as much as I can. Thank you. I don't know if you can see it. It's not in place yet. The photo etch part that we are dealing with, it's right here. Let me see if I can do something with the focus. Hopefully that helps. Yeah. Oh, it didn't. So this is the tiny part that we're dealing with. Then I'm just gonna use my tweezers to actually just place it the way it's supposed to be. So right there, the piece is in place. Trying to see if I can focus. Yeah. That white thing, it's actually the glue that we used. It's just regular element, like white glue, the one that we use for wood. And then the excess, what I do is that, what I was saying is that I just take the regular cotton swab like this one, I dump it into a little water, wipe off the excess on my bare leg, which is okay because it's just water. And then I just very carefully, I just wipe the surface off of that excess glue, and then I just turn around, use the part that is dry, and then I dry the excess water off, and voila, we have our photo etch part in place and glued. And believe me, it's not gonna go there. The entire cockpit was, except for the plastic parts, all the photo etch of the cockpit was applied with white glue, and then the excess wiped with a little cotton swab with water, like I just said. So don't worry about it, it will stay in place. Hi guys, hi again. We're continuing the build for the F6F Hellcat. we're gonna go right over the points that we listed at the beginning of this chapter, or this part 1 of the build. Sand the fuselage seam, that one's a check. We have already achieved the surface quality that we were looking for. And then solve the gap in the cockpit. You remember the little gap between the control panel and the thing where the canopy sit, or the canopy stand right there. Again, guys, we have to be sometimes creative. I'm gonna run and buy a sheet of styrene out of my local hobby shop. When I had this cap of a very famous deodorant, and I sanded a little bit of the surface, and then I again slivered a little really tiny part, kind of like a fingernail, about the same size as a fingernail, about the same width as well. And this is the result. You can see the difference in color, the green color of the cap around the cockpit. Let me show you this side right there. Really tiny piece of plastic, and you can see the markings or the residue of the Tamiya putty, just to fill a little hole that was there, and voila, it's gonna look beautiful. And I'm very happy about my thought process right there. So fuselage, it's done. Gap in the fuselage or in the cockpit, done. Glue the remaining photo edge, no brainer right there. Was a couple of photo edge parts that I don't think that they'll even show in the recording here. Yeah, I don't see them. If you see them, just leave me a comment, did it wrong, I saw them, whatever. And then close the wings together, and that's the step that I've just finished. I have already glued the wings, and I sanded a little bit of the excess thin cement, and as you can see, I've masked them because there's a little bit of a gap right there that is gonna show. However, I don't want to lose a lot of detail, and I want to leave some reference of panel lines if needed to be scribed afterwards. So that's why I'm masking. I think it's a good habit, and the little dots there of masking that you see is little holes that I've seen there that I don't want to fill. So that's why I just put little tiny bits of masking tape right there. So we've pretty much covered the first part of our build. It's been many days, I honestly I wish I had the time to be modeling full time, or at least a pretty long time, but I just can't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and with the next step, just to finish up the wings, and I'm gonna use one of these that many of you know, and one of these, which is I think one of the cleverest putty knives that I've ever got, and it cost me 98 cents at the art store. It's used for painting artists. It's an oil scrape or oil knife, or I don't know, spatula, you name it. And that's what I'm gonna be using to fill that tiny gap that I'm sure it will show whenever I prime it. So that's the status. That's the end of part 1. Again, subscribe, comment, and rate this video. Hopefully you're following this and you're liking it, and if not, it's okay. This is just for fun.